Hi guys, wanted to give you a run through of how I use Ableton's session window and the arrange window. I got a question in one of my emails, someone that is pretty good in the session window, but kind of got lost in when you start to use the arrangement window and how that works. Well, I can't really dive in completely in one simple video, but I want to give you kind of a basic way to think about the session window and a basic way to think about the arrangement window. Basically, this is the way it works. Is for me, the session window is where I start putting ideas together and jamming out ideas, loops, creating MIDI parts, and all that different type of stuff. So once I have all my clips laid in here, what I'll do, let me go ahead and hit stop clips over here. What I'll do is I'll just start playing loops. For example, here's my basic drum kit from the original song. And here's electronic drums. So I might want to use that as an intro. What I'll do is when I fired off a certain amount of clips and I'm happy with the way those clips work together, I'll simply hit Control-Shift-I. And as you'll notice, it just creates a whole new scene with those clips in there. If you've got a Mac, you can use Apple-Shift-I and it'll do the same thing. And then from there, I just keep on building the song. So now I've got this part playing, and I can just keep adding. Maybe add this drum layer here, hi-hats. Okay, that adds a little something, so then I'll hit another Control-Shift-I. And now that'll pop that in place. Then I'll just continue adding a guitar riffs. Drop in the bass part. Maybe I just want the bass part to come in next. So I'll say, okay, that sounds pretty good. So I'll just create another scene from those clips there and so forth. So basically, that's a very simple way that I can start laying out how my track is going to be organized for the arrange window. And then once I get to a point where I'm happy with my basic arrangement, one thing to consider is it's really good to make sure with your clips that you are able to get to the peak of your song, basically the meat, the main part of the song with your clips here. Because if you're not getting yourself to that place where you feel the song is at a peak, then you may not be finished building your song in the session window. Because basically, if you've just got an intro, if you carry right over to the arrange window, now you got to figure out what's going to come next. And you've got to figure out even if the song is worth building. If you have the meat of a song, then you've got something to build up to, and then you can just taper it down towards the end of the track. But you know that you've got a song there. So once you have that, then you kind of jam out your scenes by hitting over here. And while you're doing that, you just hit your record button here. And then when you hit your scene, as you see up here, all the parts are being laid out. And as a switch, so anything that I play in here is going to be recorded in the arrange window. So if I'll click over here, this stuff right here is already recorded, but I'll just show you what we did way over here. There you go. And then once you're in this window, this is where you do all the editing. I'll go ahead and undo that recording, and we'll just use what I've got. All right, so basically this is a song set up after I've edited it and everything. As you see, I've kind of made markers here of how I start the track, certain parts coming in, the bass guitar intro. Here's where the vocals start. Here's where the guitar comes in. So I've kind of built the whole song from the ground up here. So right here is where I do all the editing. Also, the question was about, saying it was difficult to add builds and, incidentals and crash cymbals and all that stuff in the session window. I recommend that you wait for all that, the builds and the breakdowns and things like that, for the arrangement window. Build your basic parts, and then I'll come in here and I'll just copy and paste all the extras. Like over here we have my atmospheric sounds. And down here are all my crash cymbals and reverse crashes. Got some white noise here that I added, and different effects and things like that. So basically all that stuff I add in the arrangement window after I'm done with the session window. And then once your track is built, of course, you're going to put a loop marker around the whole song and make sure to leave enough room at the end so that all your delays and reverbs trail off properly and don't get cut off. And the arrangement window here is where you're actually going to do your mix down. You can't really do a mix down from the session window. So the arrangement window is actually the most important part of Ableton as far as finishing a song. As far as starting a song, session window is arguably one of the coolest things ever invented. But anyway, this is the basic approach to how I build a song in Ableton. I hope it was somewhat entertaining and not completely convoluted. Hope you enjoy this. Have a great one. See you next time.